Today we are talking about what might just be the single greatest season in football history. I'm talking about the 2011-2012 Premier League. It was this incredible 10-month marathon of pure drama, epic comebacks, and absolute heartbreak that somehow all came down to a few seconds of unbelievable chaos. I mean, think about that question for a second. It honestly sounds like something straight out of a Hollywood movie, right? You've got 20 teams, each playing 38 games. That's thousands and thousands of minutes of football. And all of it, every single kick, becomes almost meaningless until the very, very last one. So to understand how a season-long marathon could end in a 20-second sprint, we have to go back to that final incredible day.
So let me set the scene for you. It is the final day of the season, May 13th, 2012. Two bitter rivals from the exact same city, Manchester City and Manchester United, are dead level on points. The entire championship is going to be decided in the next 90 minutes, with both teams playing their final matches at the exact same time.
Okay, so as the clock ticks past the 90-minute mark, the dream is absolutely falling apart for Manchester City. They're at home, they're expected to win, but they are somehow, shockingly, losing 2-1. Meanwhile, a couple hundred miles away in Sunderland, Manchester United have done their job. Their game is just about over, they've won 1-0, and for all intents and purposes, they are the champions.
And there it is. The final whistle is blown at Sunderland Stadium. The Manchester United players are on the field. Their fans are going crazy in the stands. They're just waiting for the news from Manchester to make it official. It seems totally inevitable. But here's the thing. Their fate is completely out of their hands now. It's all happening back in Manchester.
Now, to really get the weight of this moment, we need to rewind a little bit, because this wasn't just any old title race. This was a battle for supremacy in a single city. So on one side, you've got Manchester United, the global powerhouse, a true dynasty led by the legendary Sir Alex Ferguson. They were the establishment, the defending champions. And on the other side, Manchester City. For decades, they had lived in United's shadow. In fact, Ferguson had famously dismissed them as the noisy neighbors. But with new ownership and a ton of ambition, they were desperately chasing their first league title in 44 long years.
And this map just shows you how personal this whole thing was. These two clubs aren't just rivals in name. They are literally neighbors. The bragging rights weren't just for the country, they were for the city. Street by street, Manchester was divided.
You see, the only reason we even got to that final day drama was because the entire season was an absolute roller coaster. The lead at the top of the table didn't just change hands once or twice. It swung wildly, dramatically, back and forth.
Let's start right here, back in October. City go to United's home stadium, Old Trafford, a place they call the Theatre of Dreams. And they don't just win, they demolish them 6-1. It was an absolute earthquake of a result, a massive statement that City were for real. And just like that, they had a 5-point lead. But of course, United, being United, they clawed their way back. City started to stumble, and by early April, with just 6 games left to play, the tables had completely turned. United were now 8 points clear. And let me tell you, in football, an 8-point lead at that stage of the season, that's considered game over. The race was done, or so we all thought. But this is where the sheer pressure of a title race really kicks in. With everything to lose, United, the experienced champions, suddenly cracked. An unexpected loss here, a shocking draw there, and just like that, the 8-point lead just evaporated. The door they had slammed shut was suddenly blown wide open again. So after all of those incredible twists and turns, City took their chance. They won their games, including a huge 1-0 victory over United, and this is where it all led. Going into that very last match, they were perfectly level, 86 points each. The gap was 0. The only reason City were in first place was because of a tiebreaker. Which, of course, brings us right back to where we started. Manchester City, at home, needing a simple win to clinch the title. But they are losing 2-1 as the game goes into injury time. You know, those final few minutes the referee adds on. The 44-year wait is about to become a 45-year wait. It's over.
And then, absolute pandemonium. At 91 minutes and 14 seconds, the substitute Edin Džeko scores a header from a corner. It's 2-2. There's a flicker of hope. But a draw isn't enough. They still need one more goal. The clock just keeps ticking. 93 minutes and 20 seconds are on the clock when Sergio Agüero gets the ball, plays a quick 1-2, smashes it into the back of the net, and wins the Premier League with what was basically the last kick of the entire season.
And that tiebreaker I mentioned, it's called goal difference. And it was the only reason City won.
This is the one and only time in Premier League history that the title has been decided this way. Remember that 6-1 win for City back in October? Well, it wasn't just a statement. Those extra goals were the literal difference that won them the title. Every single goal across all 38 games ended up mattering.
And this is the payoff. That moment of pure, unscripted, raw emotion. 44 years of waiting, a 10-month season of unbelievable twists and turns, all of it decided in a few seconds of utter desperation that turned into pure triumph.
But you know, what really makes this season legendary is that the drama wasn't just at the very top. The entire league, from top to bottom, was packed with incredible stories, all of which build the case for it being the greatest season ever.
I mean, the numbers from that season are just wild. Robin van Persie was on another planet, scoring 30 goals. City's captain, Vincent Kompany, was deservedly named Player of the Season. You had these insane scorelines, like Manchester United beating Arsenal 8-2, and in total, a whopping 1,066 goals were scored across the league.
And just look at this final league table. You see the madness right at the top. Both teams locked on 89 points. But then look down at 4th place. Tottenham finished there, which should have guaranteed them a spot in Europe's biggest competition, the Champions League. But in this bizarre twist, 6th place Chelsea went and won that very trophy. And at the time, the rules gave the winner an automatic spot for next year, and it came at Tottenham's expense. Just more heartbreak and high drama from the very top of the table to the middle.
And look, this isn't just me saying it or a bit of nostalgia. It's actually official. When the league had its 20-year anniversary, a panel of experts and fans voted the 2011-12 season as the greatest ever. Its legacy is literally cemented in history.
So that really leaves us with one last thought. When you think about it, a rivalry that divided a city, a title race that swung back and forth by a massive 8 points, and a championship won with the very last kick of the very last game of the season, was this not just the greatest season in Premier League history, but maybe the single greatest season in the history of any sport? It's something to think about.